Welcome to Sky Maiden Musings, created, directed, and presented by Reverend Dikki Jo Mullen. Today's video will focus on the mysterious Egyptian Zodiac signs and characters associated with them.
The ancient Egyptian Zodiac. Sometimes there's an experience that's etched so vividly in a person's consciousness that the memory becomes a turning point in a lifetime. Often a journey to the Holy Land, partly of that is a journey to Egypt, it might be Israel or other places in the Middle East, can have an incredibly healing and uplifting feeling. Years ago, before tensions accelerated there, I was very fortunate in being able to take a tour of Egypt, and the experience really was an inspiration and turning point. While vacationing there, I saw the ancient Egyptian Zodiac, the first zodiac that parallels the one we know here in the West, painted on a temple, the Temple of Dendera along the Nile. And it was a really life-changing experience. It left a widening of truth and perspective, which has kind of defined my life ever since. At a tourist shop, I purchased a papyrus illustrating that Egyptian zodiac, and here is the way the different symbols on it translated into our Western calendar. The splendid and mysterious culture of ancient Egypt, of course, has been called the cradle of civilization. It's an elaborate astrological tradition at the heart of it all. The original entrance to the Great Pyramid of Giza aligns with Polaris, the North Star, and other archaeological sites illustrate the various constellations. The Egyptians established a yearly calendar similar to ours with 365 days and 12 months, and each month was assigned to a deity, a god or goddess, through counsel and protection. And of course, we know that the planets were really the gods and goddesses of classical times. The different star clusters relate to them in a different way. The wisdom and beauty of the Egyptian zodiac can be adapted to our own lives as a way for meditation and valuable reflection and perspective during these times of planetary and political change. Check your own birth date as we go through the Egyptian zodiac for a personal message. If you were born between January 1st and February 2nd, Amun-Ra is a symbol to look at. This majestic figure of Amun-Ra wears a tall plumed hat. He was a prophet, a ruler among the gods, authoritative, a patron of the powerful, the life-giving force of the sun, creativity, reproduction, leadership, and discretion are Amun-Ra's gifts. Now, if this isn't your birth time, embodying those qualities and understanding the rhythm and harmony of that time of the year is still a way to attune to the Egyptian zodiac throughout the year. Next we have Sebek, the sacred crocodile, February 3rd through March 4th. Sebek watched over the mighty river Nile, the lifeblood of ancient Egypt, subtle and beguiling. Sebek assists with getting in and out of difficulties, giving success to hidden treasures. He also helps with recognizing and rising above all that is degrading or undesirable in any way. The next cycle belongs to Osiris from March 5th through April 9th. This god of the death links to rebirth after a journey through the afterlife. Vegetation, the cycles of day and night, survival skills and perseverance are the concerns here. Osiris wears a double crown, signifying rulership over both the upper and lower parts of Egypt. He carries a crook and a flail as symbols of authority. Ta, Ptah, is the next deity, ruling April 10th through May 2nd in our modern calendar. A patron of culture and refinement, he carries a scepter representing sincerity, truth, and justice, bringing stability out of charm and omnipotent insight out of the darkness are the gifts that we see here. Next is Horus, May 3rd through June 16th. This falcon-headed one soars above the ordinary. Agility and acute observation are the bird god's attributes. He rises to meet the needs of the moment. Sunlight and eyesight are sacred to Horus. His name translates sky into modern English. Nephthys, June 17th through July 21st, is an attractive young woman goddess image who arrives with a basket of fruit and flowers. This goddess of home and gardens, Nephthys brings a welcome oasis to the barren desert. Nourishment, unconditional love, and a safe haven are the gifts of Nephthys. Next we have Set, July 22nd through August the 18th. Set, or Seth, S-E-T or S-E-T-H, generates reform. There's a fierce beast with a boar's features, which occurs here, a scorpion's tail. Set helps direct angry, restless energy into constructive expressions of change and adjustment. Anubis, August 19th through September 21st comes next. Anubis has the head of a black dog or jackal. Anubis advises and guides those journeying to the afterlife. Performing necessary duties, Anubis wears a double crown, symbolizing the two worlds, life and death, because of course much of what the Egyptian culture left us is that preparing for the afterlife, the death, is our most important mission in the present life. Anubis allows both sides of all situations to be evaluated. Within all good is evil, and all evil is good. Sekhmet is next, September 22nd through October the 15th. Sekhmet, this warrior goddess, appears as a fierce lioness. Sekhmet preserves the human race by defending the sun god, Ra, from any uprisings. Resolute strength of purpose to avert problems, as well as healing and medicines, are the focus of Sekhmet. Isis, the goddess Isis, is an angelic figure who governs October 16th through November 9th. She's the Divine Mother, a patroness of childbirth, love, energy, and beauty. Softening the harsher realities of life, she establishes the home as a sanctuary of nurture and kindness. Very clever, Isis expresses civilized values, social consciousness. Thoth is next. Thoth, or Thoth, is November 10th through December 3rd. A baboon and a goose are this interesting god's symbols, suggesting intelligence. The baboon is the brightest of the animals, and the hatching of new ideas, the goose's eggs. The inventor of hieroglyphics, Thoth is a respected patron of science and learning. The divine scribe, he judged the worthiness of the applicable afterlife candidates by weighing the heart against a feather in a sacred scale. And of course, if your heart was heavier than the feather, that was the need to reevaluate what was going on, because easy passage to the afterlife is lighthearted. The heart should be as light as a feather. Hathor, last of all but not least, is December 4th through the 31st. This beautiful sacred cow goddess adores music and art, all kinds of pleasure. Benevolent and indulgent, Hathor brings prophecies of good news. Her energy is voluptuous and intoxicating, a little bit like the holiday season. This is Dikki Jo Mullen, suggesting the Egyptian Zodiac as a way to understand ourselves and the world around us just a little better and from a different perspective.